I'm Kevin Gale, voice of the Crusaders, and this is Sader Stories, the official podcast of Holy Cross Athletics presented by UMass Memorial Health. On this episode, we celebrate 2024 Holy Cross Athletics Hall of Fame inductee, Tara Welch. Tara was a four-year standout for the Holy Cross field hockey team from 2003 to 2006. She stacked up the accolades, 2006 Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year, graduated as the Crusaders' all-time leader in both career goals and points. Tara, welcome to Sader Stories, and congratulations on reaching the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here, and just super honored to be inducted into the Holy Cross Hall of Fame.
How did you first find out about this induction?
So Meg Galligan, who was our head coach at the time, she had the honor of calling me. I know it meant a lot to her to be able to be the one to let me know that I had been inducted. So she gave me a call. She had also kind of told me that she was, but she had essentially nominated me to the Hall of Fame. And it may or may not happen, but she would let me know if she had heard anything. So yeah, I received a call from her. It was super exciting. It was nice to connect with her. And then shortly thereafter, James Maloney, who's a big part of the board that decides on who becomes the inductees into the Hall of Fame, he gave me a call and congratulated me and essentially told me all the things that would be happening and what I'd have to provide to him, and just the awesomeness of the event that's going to happen on November 16th, which also includes a cool recognition during halftime at the football game. So that's how I found out.
Induction weekend is always so special, and this is such a great honor for any Crusader. I appreciate that you went back in the archives to look yourself up, check out some of the old articles, some of the glory from your days. Looking back on your career, what do you believe made you stand out as a Hall of Famer at Holy Cross?
Wow, that's a good question. I would say heart and perseverance and just really the will, right, that we have as athletes to show up every day, work hard, continue to push ourselves and our teammates, and to, raise the bar in terms of expectations for ourselves. But also have fun at the same time. Like, I feel like, taking it too seriously never lands anyone in a good spot. So I feel like we just had a really nice balance of all of those attributes. And I, also embodied those. And so, yeah, I would say it's that. And it's so interesting because when I go back and I started looking at all of this, it's like, I've got the numbers, right? And I certainly was a great player and a great athlete, but to do that, it's never just you, right? It's the whole team and the group effort that really puts me or anyone in that position to really succeed and have the success that I had while I was at Holy Cross. So
it's true. A lot of athletes that we talk to on this pod, they can't quite remember how many points or assists at the end of the day, but you remember matches and wins and moments with your team. Your team was a perennial contender in the early to mid 2000s in the Patriot League. What are some of the matches and moments that come to your mind first?
I think the first that comes to mind is probably every match that we had against American. Because we never beat American. I think we beat them maybe once my freshman year, maybe once or twice, but we could never get ahead of them. So they are, and of course, they're the ones that knocked us out of, the championship, and they'd be the champions. And so there was always this, great rival. It was good because it asked us to step up and to be better. But yeah, I would say the matches against American are definitely those that stand out the most.
On top of all those moments that you shared with your teammates, you got a really interesting individual honor in 2015. The Patriot League announced a 25th anniversary team. When you think back to your 4 seasons in the league, what gives you the most pride about the time you spent with Holy Cross and competing with your team?
I, th- what, I mean, I think it was the successes we had as a team and the number of wins that we had. And I mean, we never had, like, we always had a winning record. We were always toward the top of the league. We had very high standards for ourselves. So I would say, looking back, like we had a winning mindset, like a winning vibe to our team. And I think that is probably what I remember most. And I think that says a lot because you can have some of the best players together, but if they don't work well as a team and or get along well and or work together well and have that winning mindset and all being, showing up every day, working towards the same goal, having the same mindset, you're not always going to have the greatest outcomes. So yeah, I think when I look back, the winning records that we had and the things that we did accomplish were pretty awesome. I mean, the fact that we made it to the Patriot League, finals 2, maybe 3 of the 4 years I was there. Because I know we didn't make it there one of the years, maybe my junior year, we lost in the semifinals. But just the fact that like year after year, we could show up with that type of consistency was really awesome. It made it really fun.
Yeah, and that era of consistency has been reflected in the last 2 Hall of Fame classes. Lee Fan Huynh was inducted last year. We interviewed her right here on this pod. She was at Holy Cross from 98 to 2001. What kind of pride does that build now as former players under Coach Galligan who are now Hall of Famers and really enjoying the nominations that she's handing out?
Yeah. I mean, I think it says a lot about her, right? Like she did an amazing job with the resources that she had and the players that she scouted. I know she was super particular about making sure the team would work well together, that personalities would work well together. In order to put together, because it's not always about the talent, right? It's how the talent works together and how the team can come together. And she was really thoughtful in that process when she was prospecting recruits. And so I think she looked for a certain type of player to come in because she knew what she could do with that player and what that player could do within the team.
That's a perfect segue. Let's take a quick break, but when we get back, Tara will tell us about her path to Holy Cross right here on Sader Stories.
We are UMass Memorial Health, and innovation is something that defines us, that drives us to discover new ways to provide answers and hope, to provide opportunity and access and equity for everyone, to redefine what medicine can do and how it can heal relentlessly.
Bacon. Good morning, everybody. Nothing like the Jersey Mike's morning prep. The sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
I've been living up here for months.
Got a package from Mr. DeVito?
Oh, my bacon sniffing horn. Oh, smell that bacon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now we're talking. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
Leadership and excellence. In competition, in the classroom, in the community. For decades, Crusader Athletics has focused on our topmost commitment, elevating every student athlete. To reach for more, to grow more, to achieve more. Help us to continue to strengthen minds, build character, and celebrate together as one Crusader nation. Because when we commit together, we win together. Join us, Crusaders together.
Crusaders, don't miss 2024 Family Weekend at Holy Cross. In the marquee event of the weekend, Holy Cross football welcomes Ivy League rival Yale back to Fitton Field on Saturday, September 21st. Kickoff is set for 2 p.m. You can get your tickets now at goholycross.com/tickets. I'm Kevin Gale, voice of the Crusaders, and this is Sader Stories, presented by UMass Memorial Health. I'm joined by 2024 Holy Cross Hall of Fame inductee Tara Welch from Crusader Field Hockey. Tara, growing up in New Boston, New Hampshire, how did you first connect with the game of field hockey?
So field hockey had a long history in my family. Both my mom and I think at least, definitely one of her sisters, if not maybe both of her sisters, played. And my aunt Tanya, who was Tanya Kennedy, she actually played in college at UMass. And she was big into like the US national team and actually was supposed to play in the Olympics. But ultimately, it was the year that the Olympics got boycotted. And so she lost that opportunity, which was unfortunate. But anyway, so it was deep-seated in the Kennedy on my mom's side of the family. And so I didn't pick up my first stick though, probably until like 6th grade. And we didn't even have a team at the time. I was just hitting in the backyard. And then in 7th grade, in our middle school was the first time we had an organized sport of field hockey. So that's when I started to play and I quickly fell in love with it. And so probably by 8th going into 9th grade. And again, back then we didn't have all the travel teams and all the, really the travel teams and the opportunities that the children and the kids and athletes these days have. So there happened to be Seacoast United that opened up in New Hampshire in the Seacoast. And I mean, it was an hour drive, but they had a travel team. And that's really where I was able to gain my collegiate exposure. And I would have exposure to college coaches through that program.
Did that include Meg Galligan at Holy Cross? Did she see you competing with that travel team?
Yes. Yep. And so there was always a national, we called it nationals, but there was an annual nationals field hockey tournament that either took place down in Florida or in like Palm Springs, California. And so it was exactly that, where you would, the best of the best, of the teenager field hockey players would be out there playing against each other. And there would be a ton of college coaches, in and around, observing, recruiting, all of that.
Well, you wasted no time.
Yeah.
You wasted no time once you got your opportunity in Worcester. You scored a goal against Siena in your very first collegiate game. What were those first few weeks like on campus as you started to adjust to your new reality of being a student athlete?
Oh my gosh, it was so awesome. It was so exciting. It was fun. It was new. It was hard work. I mean, preseason, those 2 weeks are no joke. I don't think I've ever been as sore, and that happened every year, but I had never been as sore as I was during those 2 weeks. Thank goodness for like the cold plunges, the ice tubs that they had for us. But it was awesome. It was, just, I don't want to say it was like being, you were just so excited and just excited to meet new people and just explore this whole new world that was going to be the next 4 years of your life. So yeah, it was a cool feeling and a cool experience.
What do you think Coach Galligan and Holy Cross in general did to really set you up for success early in your career? Because from there, you were a mainstay on all Patriot League teams throughout the rest of your career.
I think that really just being given the opportunity, right, to show up every day, to work hard, to go through the drills. And I'm a competitive person, believe it or not. I'm competitive and in a good way, like a healthy competitive with both myself and my, peers on the team. And so, I mean, I just went in there with the mindset of like, I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to get better. And I'm going to show them that I deserve to be on this field. And so, honestly, I had been that type of athlete my entire life. and I had played mostly varsity sports. Like I always excelled. And so I didn't start the first, I think I only started 7 games my freshman year. And I was a bit disappointed in myself that I hadn't like earned that spot yet. Right. So yeah, I went in just sort of with this expectation of you're going to work hard, you're going to do well, and you're going to earn your spot.
Well, that compete level certainly paid off. You were named Offensive Player of the Year in 2006 to cap off your tremendous Holy Cross career. What sort of skills do you think separated you as the top offensive player in the league? What does it take to be a great scorer in collegiate field hockey?
So I think it takes so you've got to be quick, right? You've got to be quick. You've got to have good stick skills, but you also, in those important moments right before a goal, you need to be able to slow it down. Mm-hmm. So, right. And have kind of that calm, cool, collected so that you can finish and you can have that finesse in that moment that you need to have. And so I think that's a big part of, what allowed me to be where I needed to be when I needed to be there. I could also, I think I was pretty good at being where I needed to be, in getting there when I needed to be there, and not too soon. And sometimes sometimes I was there too early, sometimes not, but often I was there when I needed to be there so that I could finish what I needed to finish in the moment.
We've talked a lot about your individual accolades, but it's very difficult for one individual to take over a field hockey match. How much of these individual awards are actually team awards that you can share with your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all of them. Really, like I said at the beginning, no one person can achieve success in a team sport, right? Like I wouldn't have scored all of those goals and or had assists, right? That all add up to those total points if it weren't for team members that were either passing to me and or I was passing off to them. So, we could finish our job, which was to get that ball in the net. So yeah, I would say 100% of it, obviously, well, let's not say 100%, let's say 90% of it, right? Because I still had to show up, do my job, and push myself too. But yeah, a lot of what I've been, blessed to have in writing and statistics, whatever, is really all because of the team.
It's been 17 years since you graduated from Holy Cross. And the good news is, in this day and age, it's really easy to stay connected with old teammates. You're a New Hampshire native living back home in New Hampshire now. How do you stay connected with that class of 2007?
So believe it or not, I don't have any of the girls from 2007 like around me at this point. So yeah, we've kind of all been dispersed. So I would say the closest still probably was Susie Whalen, but her husband is a football coach, a college football coach. And so they are moving all around. I think they're now down in Connecticut. So they were at Harvard for a long time. So we used to see them go to the Harvard football games, support her and her husband. And then they were up in New York and now they've been down in Connecticut. So as you can imagine, now all of us having families and responsibilities and things like that, it's definitely gotten much harder, but I would say text and email, I mean, and social media. Thank goodness for social media. We can all stay up on what each other is doing without actually connecting on a regular basis.
Absolutely. And are you sharing the game of field hockey with your family? Are you going to pass the stick down?
Yeah. So our first child, I've got 3 kiddos. My first was my daughter Stevie, and she had a field hockey stick when she was like 1. I mean, she wasn't really using it at that point, but yeah. So I mean, it was bigger than it was like her height or whatever. But yeah, so we started using it probably around ages like 2 and 3, and her and I just passing out in the garage. And then this is great timing because this was the first season that she was able to do like a pickup field hockey practice league for 6 weeks. And the best part is that one of my Holy Cross field hockey team members, who was the year below me, Eli Scovrin, she was one of the coaches. And so
Wow.
she's actually local to me. She's in my town. And she's the assistant field hockey coach at Exeter High School now. So it was really cool. They had set up the program for the young kids to start to introduce them. And it was really nice to have that all come full circle.
I love hearing those Crusader connections. Let's take one last break. When we return, Tara will look ahead to her Hall of Fame induction ceremony right here on Sader Stories.
Football is back here at City Field in Worcester.
Fuller, touchdown! Still on his feet, touchdown!
Many financial advisors are commission-based advisors that work for a bank. At Car Financial, we work for you. Our primary focus is helping our clients achieve their goals. You worked hard in your career. You've earned your retirement. Now let us show you how to make the most out of what you have. We're here to answer your investment, retirement, income tax, and estate planning questions. Through every stage of life, we're here for you. Call us at Car Financial Group today.
Trips and Patriot League tournament titles for the College of the Holy Cross.
Get ready for the winter sports season here at Holy Cross. Score the best ticket prices for men's ice hockey, women's basketball, and men's basketball inside the Hart Center by securing a season ticket membership. To order your winter sports season ticket membership, visit goholycross.com/tickets. I'm Kevin Gale, voice of the Crusaders, and this is Sader Stories, presented by UMass Memorial Health. On this episode, we're looking ahead to the Holy Cross Hall of Fame induction ceremony coming up this November, and we're joined by Tara Welch from Crusader Field Hockey. All right, Tara, to this day, you're still the all-time leader in career goals and points at Holy Cross. I just looked it up. Mm-hmm. What do you want people to remember most about your time as a player?
Oh, wow. Well, not me. I would again, I think it comes back to the team and our coach, Meg Galligan. I think that she was the heart of the team and the leader of the team. And so she did an amazing job just pulling us all together, getting our heads in the right space so that we could show up every day and have such like winning and successful seasons. So yeah, I would say just remembering the players, right? The players of the team, the coach of the team, really, and I know we've talked about this already in the prior segment, but my successes wouldn't have existed in isolation. It was really a product of the team. And so all of the players, you know, from 2003 to 2007, when I was there, is what I would want people to remember.
I love that. And how are you staying connected with Lindsay Jackson's field hockey team here at Holy Cross today? I know you're already sharing the game with your family. How do you stay in touch with the program?
Yeah, so I'll be honest, my family has grown. I've got 3 little kids, so it's been a bit tougher over the last 5 years. There's been a lot of pregnancies, a lot of infants, a lot of you know, just busyness here, but Lindsay does a great job at sending out emails to all of us. and inviting us to come to, the alumni games and come support the team. And so I'm looking forward to doing that this year. I really want to introduce my children and show them even just the campus of Holy Cross and the Heart Center and, the turf and all of that, and expose them to a field hockey game to show them that that's what I did when I was, in college. So looking forward to doing that this year for sure. I would say previous to starting to have all the babies, I made it back at least once a season. We usually do an annual tailgate, where the alum who can make it will come, and all the families and the current athletes get together, and we all get to mingle and talk and, just kind of feel connected to the program as it exists, in that moment. So
those ongoing connections are so important. I think that's why it's so fitting when coaches at Holy Cross say committing here is not a 4-year decision. It's really a 40-year decision. So looking beyond lacrosse now, how did Holy Cross best prepare you for your career today in foundational medicine?
yeah, so I think heart is what I would respond with that. Is I think that it is so important to do what you love and what you're passionate about and what you're aligned with and what makes you tick. And field hockey did all of those things for me, right? Like it was my heart, my soul. It was a huge part of who I was as a person. And when I left Holy Cross, and that piece stopped, it was like a piece of me was missing. And so what I have been able to find being in this space of foundational medicine is that realignment, right? Being, having the heart and the passion and just really feeling aligned with something that fulfills you. So I would say that's probably, it taught me what that felt like. And it's so interesting because so many of us get into jobs that we're just not happy with, which is why a lot of people continue to coach, right? Continue to do their passion and be a part of it. And it's really such a gift when maybe it's not exactly field hockey, but you can find something else that fuels you and makes you feel the same way.
And impacts a lot of people positively as well. That's
helping people.
Really the best you could hope for.
Mm-hmm.
And looking ahead to your induction ceremony, I know you said you've already got some ideas for the speech. Sounds like you've got a great outline already. But truly, I think it's a day to share with your family. And as much as campus has changed and things have grown at Holy Cross, what are you looking most toward bringing the kids back, bringing your family back, connecting with alums, and what message will you have for them?
Honestly, I think it'll be gratitude, right? Because I lived there and it was my journey, but they were my supporters through that. They were at every game even if they were, our travel games, like they made it to everything. They just supported me through that entire process. And without their support, it wouldn't have been what it was. I think that was also a huge piece of my success, is just having my family and even all the families. Like it was such a cool culture and like community that we were a part of. It was really a big family. And so to be able to go back and just, feel all those feelings again and be back in that community and that specialness that Holy Cross just exudes, right? And so going to the football game and being part of that community, and then being able to just be on campus, and I know it's just going to bring back like all the feelings and all the memories and love and excitement and all the things that it did. So it'll be really fun too, to like take the kids up and just, show them a place that was super impactful and really special to me, obviously, for 4 years. And like you said, maybe for 40 years, and get them some Holy Cross gear. They need some Holy Cross gear. I have a bib, but that's it. So I'm like, I need to get them some gear. So that'll be really cool, but it'll be fun to go back with my parents to just, like I said, it wouldn't have been possible without their sacrifice and their support. And so it's almost like a day of honoring all that they did for me too, which is super cool.
That'll be so wonderful to share with all of them. And the good news is you don't need too much Holy Cross gear for yourself. For those of you watching on the video version, you've got an original Holy Cross field hockey t-shirt with, look at that, the old color, a little bit lighter purple, but the field hockey stick. That one has, that one's lasted about 20 years. That's now a throwback item.
Oh, this is totally a throwback. And it's funny because as we were talking earlier, it might be lighter because of all those wash. I mean, this was actually a shirt that I wore in season. And
Wow.
if anyone from season or any sports season knows, these things get washed a lot. These shirts get, so there's definitely some fading that happens.
Some blood and sweat has been washed out of that shirt over the course of the season on the turf, right?
Yes. Yep. Heart, blood, sweat, all of it.
Yeah, I don't think the casual fan understands how much that turf can bite back when you're really competing.
Absolutely. That's why we have to wear gloves. I mean, we're just like fully covered. Otherwise, yes, you're just gonna have pieces of your flesh like coming off of you. You slip, fall. It's just like, oh.
Field hockey players are tough, no doubt about that. Tara, this has been great. Thank you again for joining us. Congrats on this honor. We can't wait for you to share it with your family at the induction ceremony this November. We'll look forward to seeing you there. And we'll be back soon with another episode of Satyr Stories celebrating more Holy Cross Hall of Fame inductees. Until then, we ask that you tell your friends about Satyr Stories. Available anytime on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. If you love hearing stories like these from Crusader Hall of Famers, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. Thanks again for tuning in to Satyr Stories. I'm Kevin Gale. Go Cross Go.